Stadium in Pittsburgh.
This is Madden Football on EA Sports. As we'll see Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers versus Russell Wilson and the New York Giants.
But not far from where the Steelers' former homes at Three Rivers Stadium, Forbes Field once stood, we are at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That's a start they can live with. 15 yards on their first play from scrimmage. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now runs straight ahead with Warren. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
On the give, it's Warren. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
On 4th down, Corliss Waitman on to punt. So holding on the return, and that's going to back him up to start the drive.
He was trying to get the job done correctly, just trying to clear a little space for his returner. Ended up getting a little too much jersey and hooked the guy, hence the flag.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Nifty move. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. From the 29, here's 2nd and 4. Here's Wilson. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
He'll get this into the hands of the wideout from LSU. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. That is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And they get the guard, John Runyon.
Still standing.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Tracy going to get it on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
That's complete right around the 8. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's got it. Touchdown, Giants. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Giants get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened.
There he goes, right side. He's to the 15. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Calvin Austin, 76 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. And they just ran the fly route there, didn't they?
You broke it down perfectly. He ends up catching that one and taking it all the way into the end zone.
Well, thanks. It was pretty simple to break down, though. I mean, that's just a guy going, running on the go route, making a play.
Speed,
Kills.
speed, speed. And what does it do?
It kills.
There you go.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and we are tied at 7. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Wilson. There's a short one caught by Johnson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. These 2 teams all tied after 1. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1. They work now on 2nd and 9. Now it's Wilson. Flush to his right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. A gain there of 21 yards. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. On the give, it's Tracy. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Right back to Tracy. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there. And now it's 3rd down and inches.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Wilson now off the bootleg. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Going right side, he finds Slayton. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the the pressure was too intense, and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Giants have taken the lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes the score 14-7. A 10-play drive that time. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Rodgers to throw. Escaping the pressure right. That's complete to DK Metcalf. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 42 yards.
And this is one of the toughest parts about being a defensive back. When a play breaks down like this, you're taught to plaster to a receiver. Find the nearest one and adhere yourself to it. But you can only stay with the receiver so long if the play continues to develop. He knows where he's going. You do not.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That'll be caught left side by Woods. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now a 2nd and 6. To throw is Rodgers. Now a screen set up for Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Boswell's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The New York set to take the field. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Cole Holcomb, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Up the middle, Johnson. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Here's a 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Rodgers. Flushed out right. And here he'll get it down to the 7. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to first.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Screenplay, Johnson. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
The key to any screenplay is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Warren. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Boswell's kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Giants now going to take over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now it's Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Wilson. He's going to air one out. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Joey Porter Jr. And the Steelers are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
12 yards that time and a Pittsburgh first. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports halftime report. This one has the look of a game that could very well go down to the wire. Just 1 point separating these two clubs at the break. But they're ready for the second half, and we are too, as we'll kick it right back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Giants offense set to begin this third quarter. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Second down, here's Tracy. 40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Wilson's throw taken in by Slayton. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They go play action now. Wilson. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Eluding the pressure right. And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has it up for the first. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. They'll hand it to Tracy. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Now here's a throw that's complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal. From the left hash, this from 39. Gano's kick is good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. On 1st down, Rodgers. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Rodgers' throw caught here by Metcalf. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll give up the middle to Johnson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Flush to his right. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now Rodgers. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
New York set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
In motion, Slayton. On 1st down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Keanu Benton, the one who got in to bury him. That time, Charles, great job keeping him in the pocket and not letting him escape.
And, Brandon, I think this was a great example of the front and the back working together, meaning the back covering, no place to go with the football. And the front, terrific job on the edge so he couldn't escape outside. And then, of course, the inside pressure kept him hemmed in as well.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Here's 3rd and 3. Now Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play there on the catch and run. 30 yards. We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And the Steelers are going to have it here at their own 15. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Back now in Pittsburgh. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. The Steelers send out their punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll start with a run by Tracy. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. The Giants on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus